What you doing on this live, Stevie? Your audio's on. What you pulling? By the way, the Baccarat smells divine. Okay, you on mute. You on mute. You gotta unmute. You gotta unmute.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a good bake.
Oh my gosh, it's such a nice smell. But what hi guys, sorry. Hey everyone, it is Raquel May David. I am your host. And I am with my co-host David Sanchez.
Hello,
And we are
everyone.
here to help you with Dispute Panda. So we have some regulars that come up in Club Dispute Panda, and Stevie is our regular. How you doing today? What's going on? What you getting into?
TransUnion online disputes.
Okay. That's what you're doing tonight?
I did them, they didn't work, so I'm going back to the letters. Yeah.
I love how he said I did them, they don't work.
They really don't.
So so what you've been doing is going to transunion.com and disputing like on their site for the client. Okay.
Yeah,
And what
just for clients that are not actual in the program, just for people that
gotcha.
like free help and stuff like that. Let's use them as like test stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
It
So
works for like collections and it's okay. But for like the big stuff, it doesn't do anything.
it doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Okay. And what's the big stuff?
Like late payments and kind of get, things you need proof for.
Okay. Okay. Well, how has it been going? I know that you've been using Dispute Panda for a little bit now. Have you gotten any updates or results on the Dispute Panda clients? Or because I know you do. So for those of you that are new to the room, Stevie does amazing work. And he he has amazing clients out there in the Hollywood area. And I love to hear like what tactics he's using. I know that we're talking about creating a standard operating procedure for you, but like how has it been going? Because now you know the TransUnion dispute is not your thing. How
Yes.
has Dispute Panda been going for you?
It's been going really well. I'm getting some good results. The thing I'm learning is that there's a certain way to do things in a certain order. Before I was kind of haphazardly, trying different things at different times, and if that didn't work, then I'd try something else. But I didn't. Now that you have this an attack flow, I think it's very helpful.
Yeah, I definitely think that's great. And for those of you guys that are new to me, I do help with coaching in Dispute Panda. And one of the things that I tell all my clients that I'm coaching or the people that are in my book of business that I'm teaching how to use the platform is to track. So one of the things I love talking to Stevie about is he can come back to me and tell me, I tried this, these are the things that I accomplished, right? And these are the things that it did absolutely nothing. So he knows he knows what's working. And I think sometimes in business we forget to track like what's good, what's not good, what's happening, what's not happening. But I want to give a shout out really quickly to my wonderful mod who is here, JM. So I'm gonna do another introduction. I'm gonna give everyone about an additional 5 minutes or so to come on in. And hey JM, that's our tattoo homie right there. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna give everybody about 5 minutes. Today is like a late start. Normally we have like 15 people in the back of the club. So this is probably gonna be really, really easy. Depending on who's in the room is going to kind of depend on how we're going to pivot tonight. What I love starting out every single Dispute Panda night at the community. So since we have a couple of new faces, hey D'Amber, hey Mr. Brian Brown, welcome to the room. Welcome to the room.
Hey,
How y'all doing today?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
I am doing fantastic. Thank you for asking.
Good. Yes, ma'am.
So I like to start at the community. It is very pivotal for me to make sure that we're starting in a place where we can be one together. If we have any questions, concerns, comments, our Dispute Panda team, our support team is here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And they are also dipping and doing in the actual room. So if you guys need, David just dropped it in the chat for us. It is the link to to gain access to the Dispute Panda community. We are not on Facebook, okay? However, y'all, I am on Facebook. So I will tell you guys, if y'all are looking for a Facebook group or you're looking for a Facebook community, I am going to go ahead and build one out completely for the people that are in Dispute Panda, so you guys can also come on there. But the community is where we want to be, and I'm going to tell you why. There's no restrictions. You guys can ask every question. You have to understand that in other rooms, it makes it a little bit difficult because basically Facebook can delete whatever they want to. The book of the faces can decide to delete whatever, and we want to make sure that you have the information that you need in real time. Okay. So if you see JM is the most decorated commenter on the leaderboard. Y'all don't judge me because I'm all the way down here at 69. Okay, I'm doing a little something. I'm getting caught up. Okay, and as my friend Usher would say, I'm getting caught up. Okay, but I want you guys to download. Click the link in the chat. You guys can log in through your Dispute Panda sign on. And while we are waiting for some more people to come in the room, I'm going to start promptly at 8:10. I just have a few questions for the people that are in the room. So you guys can come off of mute. Y'all can drop an emoji. I like engagement. So just for transparency, I am a riot all by myself, but this roller coaster is even more entertaining when you guys join it with me. Okay. So, so for the people that are in the room, Mr. Ryan and Misty Amber, if you guys can tell me, do you already have the Dispute Panda platform, and have you already sent out any rounds of letters? Sidebar, I smell really good. Okay, I know y'all can't smell me, but I just want y'all to know that my friend gave me some cologne and I smell really, 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 really good. Okay. What do you guys have the platform, and have you sent any letters?
So this the year, so I just started a platform. I had it for a while, but I was a little skeptical. But like last week, I did my first round of letter.
Okay.
I don't know if I did it correctly, but I did my first round. I went and got the credit. What it's called? Credit Dino. I paid for the Credit Dino.
Okay. Okay.
You're right. So that was the thing with me, because I had my credit reports. I didn't want to use anything third party as far as like Credit Dino, but I broke down and got it done. So when I did that, I was ready to go. I was a little confused on what to send and things of that nature, but I did send some stuff.
Okay.
I want to check it now and see like if I got some feedback on it. I wasn't really for sure what to send. I just, wanted to take some kind of action, if that makes sense.
Okay. So when you said that you have your credit report directly through the credit bureaus like TransUnion, Experian, Equifax?
Right. So I usually try to check my credit report once a year. So I got it from like free annual credit report.
Okay. So you don't have the score, you just have the report with that.
Right. And I try to upload it and upload. So I just like went on and got Credit Dino.
All right. So just for transparency, no one will ever have access using freeannualcreditreport.com on most softwares. They are not compatible. And if you have like myfico.com, it is not compatible. They will not allow it to work. So you would have to go through a third-party service in order to use most systems that I'm aware of. What I like to be transparent about is and something that caught me was that you said you picked a letter, you're not quite sure, and you want to wait a week. So I want to dive into that really quickly. When you send the letters out, right? Ideally, if you're sending it by mail, you are going to want 5 days for the mail to be received, 30 days for them to process, and then 5 days for it to come back.
Okay.
So the earliest that you're going to be able to pull your report from Credit Dino would be 35 days.
Okay.
Okay. So if you printed your letter, and this is what I tell people, if you printed your letter on Tuesday and you mailed it on Tuesday, that's fine. But if you printed your letter on Tuesday, but you didn't mail it till like Friday, then count Friday as your day one, and then allow 35 days from Friday before you go back into the system and pull the credit report. so you can see
Okay.
the updated number. Okay. And I'm going to take you through some material that I definitely think you need in order to be successful, because one thing, I don't know what letter you picked, but I am going to circle back once I get in the system so we can talk about the letter you picked. But
Okay.
if you didn't have a flow or you didn't pick a flow, I want you to track the information on the letter that you picked so that you can see what was removed, what was updated, or what was the result, especially if you didn't pick it from a flow. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am, it does.
All right, awesome sauce. I love it. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, welcome to the room. I am so glad you are here, darling. And
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
my pleasure. All right, Mr. Brown, you're up next. Have you used Dispute Panda? Have you sent letters off? Where are you at when it comes to that? I don't know if Mr. Brown can speak. Welcome to the room, Dana. I think it's Dana. I'm gonna go with that. iPhone, can you let me know if you already have the Dispute Panda software, or are you have you already sent out a letter? That is the question of the day. All right, so it's 11. Oh, hey.
Hey, so yes, I do have Dispute Panda,
Okay.
and I did send out a couple of letters. Um, it was like three collections. Um, I doubled back. One collection letter that I sent, that company had moved its address.
Okay.
So I called and got their correct address. So I did process another letter to the new address. Also, I sent another letter to a different collection agency, and actually the collection was removed.
Awesome.
So now what I'm trying to do is send a letter out for child support, and I have a charge off. But my thing is, I always get confused with the attacks, like how it say like a nerve attack or pinch attack or punch and fury. Um, my question to you is like, what is the system smart enough to the point where it will automatically detect on what you're trying, what like automatically detect like the letter to write up for what you're filing about or disputing about?
You
So
have to
like
send
for
the letters every
I
single
have
day.
no. So yeah. So basically, what I was saying is, or what I'm trying to say is, like, so for instance, let's say hypothetically, it was like a charge off to like a Wells Fargo or something.
Mhm.
Would the system automatically know what to write for that charge off?
The system has a AI powered software, so it's writing it based on all of the specific information that is highlighted to be dispute. So what you're talking about, it seems like you might be using the old guide, which is like the red attack, blue attack, so on and so forth. Is that correct?
No, what I'm looking at right now is like it's like like nerve attack, punch and fury.
Okay,
Like
so that's the old flow, my love. So you're talking about this, correct?
yes.
Okay, so this is the old flow guide that we have. But to answer your question, to make sure that I'm clear, I want to make sure that I'm understanding. Your question is, if you have an account that is on the profile, whether it's a charge off, a late payment, child support, or collection, does the
Mhm.
system have enough capacity to turn around and write the letters based on the accounts that are selected? Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, the answer is yes. The system is going to just, so even if you are using the old flow, which was the blue, the red, or the black and the white attack, the system was still AI generated. It was still going to generate the letters, even if you use the same flow for every single person. It's going to pick out the data information based on the specific accounts and the information that is in the sequence of charge off or the payment information. It's going to generate the letter around that information, right? So no matter which flow you're picking, the system is still going to write the letters based on the information for that particular account that is being disputed. Make sense?
Okay, yeah, because because I was getting so confused because it's like when I was going out to send a letter, I'm like, all right, do I pick a nerve attack? Do I pick a pinwheel? Like,
So that goes back to the question that I was gonna ask D'Amber. So hang tight because I want to circle back to this conversation. And I think it's very pivotal that we start at the beginning because a lot of people are going into the software and not understanding that the software is giving you a basic tutorial if you're just getting your feet wet in credit repair, that all you have to do is pick a flow and go. So when you're saying you're getting confused with a nerve attack or whatever, my question would be, what attack flow did you select? Does that make sense?
I will have, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So looking at the screen, this is the old attack flow. If you guys are in the chat, I know we have some new people, we have some old people. So this is the old attack flow that we used to have that required you guys to do certified mail. So what I'm going to do is before we go any further, I'm going to pause. I'm going to reintroduce ourselves because we have some people in the room, and then we're going to get started on the training. And I'm going to take you to where the first step of being successful is you have to make a decision as to what flow you're picking. Unless you are freestyling this, which is, listen, if it's your own file, honey, freestyle all day, okay? I'm a rapper at heart. I'm from Brooklyn. Okay, I'm not, but you know, I grew up there. So if you want to do it yourself and you want to freestyle the letters, the number one thing I'm going to tell you is to track your success of the information you were able to get removed, deleted, or updated from the last letter. Now, second thing I want to say, I'm sorry, my love, iPhone, what's your name? Because your name doesn't come up on the screen.
I'm sorry, it's Ty.
Hey, Ty, boo. Okay, so another thing that I wanted to tell you was that letter that came back, I wanted to ask a question. The collections that went out that came back to you and said that it went to the wrong address, did you physically get a letter back from the post office where it had a sticker that said that address could not be found?
So what I've been doing is because you know, when you do certified mail, what Dispute Panda would do is it will give you the tracking number. So I was tracking it. I'm actually signing that right now. So I clicked on the tracking number and shoot, where is it? I closed it out. Yeah, it gave me the tracking number and it told me that something that like that it was like awaiting to arrive or something. But I sent that letter out on the 8th. And that notice, I looked at it, it was that notice I got on the 17th of February. That was one. But the other letter, the other collection letter I sent out to the company did send me a letter back because I reread I read the letter I read the AI what Dispute wrote up. Basically, it was asking for like documents that I have signed or any type of bills or anything. So that company only sent a bill. So I was gonna send back because I sent a debt validation, and I was gonna send another one, which is gonna be a cease and desist refusal to pay because they're not the original creditor. They're not the original.
So backtrack. I want to make sure that you answer. I need to make sure that I have the answer to the original question. So the question I had was the account that you said it wasn't delivered to that creditor. Did you get something back stating that it could not be delivered? Did you physically receive anything back that said it could not be delivered?
Oh. No, I didn't.
Okay.
Not in mail, physical.
Okay. The only reason why I'm asking that is because there is a different method that you would use if the letter comes back and it says that that creditor's address is not valid. So so that's why I was asking that question, because per the law, they can't collect from you if you don't have a way to contact them. So if you're sending a letter out to them and you can't get a hold of them via mail, then you can request to have that particular account removed. But in this particular case, since you're saying that didn't apply, we're good. I just wanted to make sure that I understood those nuances. So I'm going to go ahead and put a pin right here. I'm going to circle back around. I'm so happy that you're here, Ty. And I'm going to get started with training.
Thank you.
Because I want to make sure, I want to ask you some questions. So just hang, don't you leave me, Ty. Okay, we go together now. Don't you leave me.
No, I'm not.
All right. I'm about to start. So, hey guys, thank you for the new people that came into the room. Shout out to Melvin. Welcome back, big homie. Okay, welcome back. Hi, Miss Linda. Hey, Mr. White. I think I said hi to Dana, so we're good there. All right, cool. So, you guys are coming in today. Again, my name is Raquel May David. I am your host for the world's most advanced, effective AI-powered credit repair software that is pay as you go. On tonight, myself, my wonderful co-host David Sanchez, and my awesome mod JM is going to help you understand how to learn, maneuver, and execute on this particular software. The goal of this class today is we're going to teach you how to load the client, how to use the software, and how to produce your rounds of attack for the free 99. Okay, so that means that you can have a free platform to dispute your negative, out of date, inaccurate pieces of information. And you can also process the letters for free instead of $17. So for those of you guys that are seasoned, like my wonderful Stevie and Melvin are, okay, y'all gonna hear this spiel, all right? Because y'all know I like to start with the shmoney, all right? Y'all already know how it goes. So we're gonna start with the pricing first. Then we're gonna dive into the training segment and the contacts. And then we're going to go into the software, and in real time, I'm going to set up an account. We're going to go through loading a client in, all of the things that comes with the platform. And then we're going to make sure that we open the floor for any questions, concerns that you might have. Thank you, child. I was videotaping today. I look a little blessed. You know, I took a shower, put some lips on, and that's what you get. Okay, ta-da. Well, thank you. So I like to dive into pricing. Also, while we're going through this, y'all, I love to talk about drip money. So while we're going through the process, if there's any way that I can educate you or help you guys get more money or get more capital, I am going to tell you guys the T in order to be a beast in these credit streets. So if y'all don't know, that is my tagline. I don't care if you're my client as far as I'm working on your credit report, or if I am coaching you. My goal is to make you a beast in these credit streets before you leave me. All right. So let me go ahead and close this out because I was helping someone earlier today. All right. So the Dispute Panda software is 100% pay as you go. All right. If you do not use Credit Dyno, which is going to be the credit monitoring software that I'm going to discuss today, your round of attacks are going to be $17 per month. That is going to be your round of attack for each month that you are disputing the profile. Those round of attack on the free platform, letters get generated to the 3 major credit bureaus: Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. Okay. Now, I'm going to go through the attacks, and we're going to dive in on a plan that is going to be most effective and most to me, I feel like it's very innovative on how Dispute Panda set up the profile to help you dispute with 0 to no credit experience, right? Anyone can do this to help themselves be great. So the software, if you upgrade to the Pro, you are able to have a host of features. It is a 14-day trial for $1. The normal monthly price is $197. And what I like to explain when it comes to the Pro is that you have a host of features. So now you can have the client access portals where you are talking back and forth to your client on a secure portal. You also have the ability that if you are using Credit Dyno as your credit monitoring software, not only do you get a free round of attack every 35 days, which means your overhead is 0, yet again, it's still at 0, okay? You literally have the ability to also dispute with the creditors when you go to the Pro. I've had people ask, well, what's the benefit of that? It's being more aggressive. Understand that sometimes when we send the letters to the actual credit bureau, they are only checking their internal database. They do not reach out to the creditors all the time. So having that extra layer in the pro group allows you to go ahead and be able to make sure that you're effectively and aggressively disputing your client's file. Okay, so those are the main two differences. Once we get into the platform, I'll dive in and show you a little bit more of the nooks and crannies that you get with the pro group versus the free program. Okay, the next tab that I like to go over is the training tab. Here is why this is so important. In the training tab, at the very top, there's a button that says free download. Before I go any further, y'all can come off of mute. Y'all can drop it in the chat. How many people clicked on this free download button? And I ain't moving till y'all answer me either. Okay, we not going nowhere. We not going nowhere, as my friend Usher would say. How many people downloaded the actual free download that was there? Hey, Mr. Conway.
Hey there.
Hey, love.
Hey, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, sorry about that last session. Had a lot going on.
You are right. You're all right. Okay, so you downloaded Stevie. I know you downloaded it, right?
The difference of what the download is versus the new attack flow is the same thing, isn't it? Or no?
So there were old flows, which were like red, blue, green, and it said like standard disputing, and then there is a blue attack, which was more efficient, and then there was a red attack that was more effective. So that was the old version where we included the certified mail. What took place was there was so much feedback of people being afraid or apprehensive about processing because they did not know which one was the best. So we revamped it and did a beta test, and now we have this new flow that is more concise, and it allows you to go ahead and dispute without any certified mail. So this one, you don't require any certified mail, and it also gave you the tips on how to dispute, when you should do a CFPB complaint and when you should be sending out the request to the secondary bureaus. So that's the difference between the old and the new method. So the old method had like 5 different rounds of it, 5 different methods to be able to attack. The new one was simplified for those that are wanting to learn the art of credit repair, but also want to get in and start helping people right away. That's a great question, Stevie.
Oh, cool. Yeah, thank you for that. So just to clarify, the link that you guys dropped in the chat that says new, that's more than the download?
Yes, that is what, so when you, oh Lord, let me close this out. When you click on free download, it will literally open this guide. So the one that says new is showing you this guide. The one that says old is showing you this guide.
Okay, I see. Yeah, I get it. Thank you.
Got it. Wonderful, wonderful. Mr. Carlos, thank you for downloading it after our call. Because I mean, we can't pull the trigger if we don't know where we're shooting it. Okay. I should know. My husband takes me to the gun range all the time, and I promise you I close my eyes and I don't shoot. So, so I want you guys to have a good plan and a good strategy. And you're not going to have one if you don't know what you're doing in the system. And we gifted you at the top of the training the actual flow. So Miss D'Amber and Mr. Ty, did you download the flow?
Yes, I did. I actually clicked on it when you said the free download.
Okay, so before today you didn't have it.
No, I didn't.
Cool. I'm glad you got it today. So we're gonna start off hot. Okay. What about you, Miss D'Amber?
I have it now. Thank you.
Okay, so when we are talking about, and I know some people came in a little bit later, shout out to the YouTube people. Please don't forget, you can watch us on and the community and on YouTube if you guys come in a little bit tardy to the party. But one of the things that was mentioned earlier was that you know, they went in, picked a letter, and sent out the round. My recommendation is, if you missed the free download at the top of the training and you sent out a letter, then my recommendation would be, when you go into your second month, you want to go ahead and do the flow that is here. So that way you have a sequence, because this is a proven dispute method that we already have on file. So you're able to go ahead and dispute with the credit bureaus as well as the secondary agencies that are housing your information as well. And y'all, I like to be honest and tell y'all why the secondary agencies are so important. So personally, there is a company by the name of Hire Right, and I do a lot of gigs in different spaces, okay? One of the companies did a background check with me with Hire Right. Now, when I got divorced, Tim first says, I'm down to the second one who's lovely. He's amazing. He gonna be the last one, y'all. Okay, if this don't work out, I'm just gonna be single. Okay, I'm just gonna be single. But when they sent me my report for my background check, they still had my previous name on there, and I was like, wait a minute, big fella, because I've sent the letters off, and what I realized was that I disputed with everyone but Hire Right. So understand that secondary bureaus house your information. So that company knew all of the addresses of where I've lived before. And luckily, I keep my past address, although I like to clean up my profile. They only had, I want to say 5 old addresses. And again, it has a lot to do with the fact that I did not focus on disputing with that particular company because I didn't have a, they hold everything. So they hold everything from your criminal record, your social security activity, when was it given to you, like all that stuff. And because I knew I didn't really have a problem, I didn't really foster sending out a letter to remove information. But understand that these secondary bureaus have your information and are selling your addresses and information to other people to gain resources. So you want to clean up your file on both with the 3 major credit bureaus as well as with the secondary agencies that you will see here for you to process and work. Let me see who else is here. Dana, did you tell me? Dana, can you drop in the chat if you can't come off of mute if you have the flow? Because I want to make sure everyone has the flow. Mr. Cook, do you have the flow? And Mr. White and Miss Linda? You know, I need to know. Y'all could drop it in the chat, send it to me personally. I just want to make sure that you guys are successful. So before you go anywhere, when you get this software, first of all, before you even get the software, you're able to come in here and actually see the flow. Thank you, Mr. Cook. You are actually able to get all of the training. So if we are not here, myself, David, JM, are not here because we only see y'all on Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Okay, I'm out here being grown them other days. All right. So if you guys need help and want to know what a tab means or how you can add a client because you may have forgotten or whatever, you are able to come in here and actually see the information and watch the video in real time for you to know what to do. So if you are using another credit monitoring software outside of Dino, which again, I wouldn't see why you would want to, darling. But if you decide to, the videos are here for the other credit monitoring softwares that are compatible with this particular Dispute Panda software. All right, Mr. White says he has the guide. So I love that. So before you even get the software, we're giving you the training material on how to execute a file successfully and all of the items that you need to get started. Okay, so for y'all of that are catching this on the replay, click on the training tab, click the free download, and that way you can clearly see who are you disputing, what letter you're going to pick, what attack variation you're going to pick, and what days you're sending the letters out. Okay. Now, the next tab that I like to talk about is the contact tab. All right, y'all. You know, I love to be able to talk to somebody, and our customer support is here 7 days a week, Monday through Friday, 24 hours a day. If you have questions, you can send a direct email to them at info@DisputePanda, or you can click the contact tab. You can put the client's name that's experiencing the problem. You can go ahead and select what the issue is, and that way it gets routed in the back office to the correct person or team member that would be able to support what you have going on. Pro tip that I leave in every single class, I cannot mention it enough, loom.com, LOOM.com. Why am I going to talk about loom.com? Because it allows you to record up to a 5-minute video so that you can take a screenshot of, not a screenshot, but basically take a video of your full screen, like how you guys are seeing my screen now, and you can literally show the client, show the back office exactly what you're looking at and the errors that you're getting. And then you're able to go ahead and click on the share link tab. And when someone has viewed the documentation, you get to see it, that it's been viewed. So you know that someone is working on your item. You're not just sending a message out. So that is a pro tip, because I use Loom for my clients when I do client meetups and all of the good things. Okay. If you have general questions, you want to be a part of the beta team, you want to know about partnership, you want to have a press conference because you got a TV show like I do, you can turn around and be like, hey, love, I want you guys on my show. Can you come on? Or I would like to partnership with you guys. What does that look like? And the back office will send it to the designated party that will be able to support moving forward. Okay. So I want to make sure that we point out that. So I cannot stress enough, if you have a concern, number one, click on training. Number two, download the free guide. Number three, the videos are amazing. Okay, guys, to help you get and accomplish your goals. The goal is for you to be able to process files more easily, more efficiently, and more effectively, so that you can move on to learning if you guys are growing the business or expanding in different spaces. So before I move on to signing up for free, do you guys have any questions, concerns, or comments? That sounds like a no.
No.
Well, all right. Well, thank you so much, Amber. You know, I need some participation over here. You know, I think I'm gonna start giving away stuff for free so I can get some participation. So, oh, I know what I can do. I can give away a free ebook. So if I have a lot of engagement today, I'll let the person that is most engaged go ahead and send me their email directly, and I will gift you a free ebook that you can sell or give away as a lead magnet for your business. So let's see how that works out. I think I'm going to start doing something like that. Excuse me, every single class, so that we can make sure that everyone's kind of engaged. And if you guys have questions, you don't have to leave the room without being able to ask those questions. Cool. So we're going to talk about sign up. So if you guys are signing up on the platform, if you are doing this for yourself and you do not have a business right now, that is completely fine. You can sign up as just an entity. The system will automatically put your full name as the owner of the company. If you are doing this as a corporation, then you can put the business name and the password information in there. I do want to state this: if you are going to also be a customer of the platform, you need to have 2 different emails. I recommend every single person that gets this software also put themselves in as a client. That way, you know what the letters look like, you know what the turnaround time looks like, you know what's coming back from the credit bureau. So you're able to have a really nuanced conversation in a real way with your clients that you are onboarding, or your friends and family, to be like, yeah, girl, I know TransUnion sends out 800 pages, because you've already gone through the process yourself, right? So you would need 2 different email addresses, one as the account holder and then one as a regular client in the software. What email address am I going to do with this? All right, and then you can put your phone number in here. That's not my phone number. All right, and then you create your password. Now, I like to sign up for free things, y'all. Y'all don't have to. Okay, y'all don't have to. But I like to sign up for the free things. So for me, any special offers, any promotion, I got 4 kids and 2 of them played in football since they were 5. They're now 19 and 18. I like savings, okay? Y'all can choose not to check that button, but I love to see what promotions, what informations are happening to be able to save at any time. This is a service agreement that will pop up for you. I do want to recommend that you read it. I'm not going to read it today, but it will go ahead and tell you what to expect when it comes to doing business with the Dispute Panda software and what the Dispute Panda community expects from you while using the platform as well. So you're gonna go ahead and click on that. You're gonna hit accept. This black bar will disappear once you have verified your email address. So I want to go ahead and make sure that you guys are aware that you don't have to do this right now. If you are setting up with me, you don't have to do it right now, but the Dispute Panda email does need to be verified once it comes into you so that you're able to get into the software with no hiccups and no kinks. All right. We're going to cover this full dashboard, all of the setting features, and then we're going to load our client in. So on the main page, the first thing that you see is the round, any missing documents, any birthdays that are upcoming. Under here is normally a report of any activity that's on your profile for the month. And if you want to upgrade from the free platform to the paid version, it does give you payment forms. It gives you contract. Well, you can always put the contract in there, but once you have the pro, you're able to send the contract to the client itself. It has shareable reports. And of course, if you guys are using Credit Dyno, which I'm going to go over a little bit more later, you can do one-click import with Credit Dyno. So you don't have to log into the software to get the updated credit report. You can do it from this site. So if you're using any other platform, you have to log into their platform, update the credit report, and then bring the credit report into the system. Because Credit Dyno was created to be in relationship with Dispute Panda, you just click the one-click import and you're able to see the updated report every 35 days for your client, and you get the free roundup attack. All right. And also, if you guys have an email sequence or anything of that nature, you have the ability to go ahead and actually link Zapier to whatever email platform you're using, like Benchmark or MailChimp or HoneyBook if you're utilizing them, so that they can speak to each other, that once the client gets loaded into the system, you can automatically send them out a message on the back end. Okay, guys? Now, on the side panel, I want to point out up here first, you can type in your client information. You do need 3 characters in order to find the client, or you can click on the client tab. On this tab, you're able to see your active clients, your inactive clients, import if you're leaving one software to come over to this one. And if you want to add a new client, this is where you would go about doing it. Okay. The letter tab allows you to see what letters are going out for which client, what attack letter was it, the date and time it was sent, and I love going over the guidelines. So y'all, I get this question every single class where they'll ask me, hey, so do you use the mailing system? I'm going to tell you that I mail from home 90% of the time. If I am home, my daughter is the person that prints out the letters for me. She goes ahead and she stuffs them. We have a whole mail sequence that goes out. However, if I am traveling, I allow the system to mail the letters out for me. The rules of the game when the system is mailing the letters out for you is that it only goes out Monday through Friday. It goes out at 12 p.m. PST for the same day. Anything after that goes out the next day. You are only able to track the certified letters. If you are doing standard letters, there is no trackability to it. You don't have to log into the USPS site. You literally just come here and you can click the tracking number and you'll be able to see the status of that tracking document, if it has been delivered or whatever the case may be as it comes to that particular document. Okay. The inbox is for the pro people. So you're able to go ahead and email your clients in a secured portal. And then the reports is where you can talk your stuff and stand on business. Okay. So I'm going to show you guys a sample of it. Give me 2 seconds. This is what the report looks like. When you have the pro, it will tell you what increases you've had for all of your clients across the board. It will tell you how much dollar has been deleted in debt. And this is a really great way to gain clients and have really in-depth conversation about what you've been doing and been able to accomplish. This is what it looks like once you are able to get it once you're in the pro, you're also able to do this on the client level. So for each client, when you have the pro, you're able to pull a screenshot of what you were able to successfully get disputed for your client the month before, or over the whole time that they've been a client for you. So you have it both on the client level as well as the account level. The subscription tab is also a pro feature. This is where you can attach your merchant service. This is where you can connect your plans together. You can create onboarding forms so you can put on your website. Okay. And then, of course, you have training and you have the contact us tab that you saw previously. Now, this is where I love to deep sea dive. So we're going to come back to billing in a second, but I want to dive into the account information. So if for some reason you need to change your email address, you need to change your phone number, you need to change your name because you've now gotten married, that is fine. You come and you click on the balance button, you click on profile, and you're able to edit the information in the software. If you go from doing this for yourself as doing this as for a corporation or for your own company, you can go ahead and update the logo. You can put your company website in here. You can even put your address for your business as well as your contract. If anyone needs a contract, please comment in the chat. We will drop the contract there. It is also available on the Dispute Panda community, but we want you guys to have what? Access to dip and do. Okay. If you want to have an outsourcer or if you have a processor, my daughter, for instance, is my processor. So she has a dedicated username and password. She does not have to use mine. So you can simply just click on, let me make this a little bigger. You click on invite team member, you put their names in, you put their email in, and that way you don't have to, here you go, my love, just drop the contract for you. That way you don't have to give them your username and password for anything, okay? If you have any affiliate links, so if you are signed up with Smart Credit, My Score IQ, Identity IQ, and you want to utilize the benefit of your affiliate relationship with them, you can plug the information in here. Or if you're only going to allow your clients to use Credit Dino, you can literally turn all of these off, hit save, and it will only show up on the client portal, the actual link for Credit Dino and nothing else. Okay. Disputing options. So the credit bureaus have about 7 or 8 different addresses to dispute from. If you're noticing a trend that something is coming back from one address more than the other, you can literally change it on the letter so that the letters will print out. That'll say instead of TransUnion 2000, PO Box 2000, you can change it to 1000, and then all of the letters will print out to that location. So just take you like paying attention to the letters that come back as to if you want to go ahead and shift and use that new address, or if you get the mail back that says the credit bureau is no longer using this address because they rotate addresses all the time, you can come into the system and update that information for yourself. Now, on the billing tab, this is where you can also go and upgrade to the pro. You also have the ability to add your payment information into the software. So every time you come in, we're using that one payment method. We also have the ability to go ahead and make a bulk purchase. So if you're going to be putting money on for mailing or for any disputes, you have the ability to do that. Now, one of the cool things is that Dispute Panda noticed that people were buying a certain amount of credits every single month in order to dispute. It was either $20 or it was $60. So what they decided to do was do a subscribe and save. And if you do that, you get a 50% bonus. I want to clarify, it only applies to the $20 per month or the $60 per month. If you come in here and you purchase $100, all you're getting is $100. The 50% bonus only is applicable to these 2 radio button options that are available. So if you purchase the $20 a month, you'll get $30 every single month when they pull from your card. Or if you do $60, you'll get $90 every single month. Okay. Again, you can upload to the Pro. The invoice tab is where you can see your invoices. If you are in Pro, you'll be able to see that information as well as to when you've paid. And then if you have a statement, you're able to see the statement information also. The activity tabs is for you to see the attacks, any mailing, or any attack credits. Remember, with Credit Dino, you get attack credits, and I'm also going to show you guys another way that you can earn attack credits once it goes live. Because again, free money, I'm all about it. The integration tab is where you can go and integrate Zapier with this actual platform. And then the referrals tab, I always tell everyone to sign up. So here's the thing. Let's say you're in an industry, you go to an event and you meet a realtor and she's like, oh, I want to do my own credit repair, but I don't know what company to use. Bet I got one. So we're going to make this go live shortly, but I suggest everyone to get the link now so that once it goes live, you guys have the ability to refer people and you will get referral credits for every person that you have that signs up for for Dispute Panda. Okay, so you want to go ahead and hit accept. It will generate that option for you, and that way you can make some sweet passive income. The other way that you can make passive income is by signing up for Credit Dino. One of the things and tips that I give every single week is that when you are looking to make quiet money or drip money, this is an amazing way for you to go about doing it. You can come into the software, you can actually start earning up to $8. It's a standard payout for every single client that signs up with your affiliate link. You can also make curated packages. So you can call Credit Dino and get a specific package that is at a higher rate, and that way your commission would be higher, right? But I make posts on the first of the month, the middle of the month, and the end of the month with my credit repair, with my Credit Dino link, so that if people don't want credit repair, but they do want the business, they have somewhere to go to get it. Okay, so just a quick tip, y'all can go ahead and sign up for that. And this is what the software, give me one second, y'all. This is what the software looks like. So the person can hit sign up and actually sign up for the membership. Now, if they sign up under your link, they're automatically billed the $29.99. If they sign up directly with Credit Dino, they get a 7-day trial and it tells them when $29.99 thereafter. Okay. If you are already a member, you can just click member login and you're able to dip and do it. All right. So we have officially covered the whole main page, the settings. Do we have any questions before I load myself in as a client? Any questions? It sounds like we don't have any. All right.
That would be a no.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. The church said no. All right. So we're going to go ahead and hit on client. We're going to hit new client and I'm going to load myself into the system. Now, if your client is using a middle name or last name or whatever the case may be, if they are a junior, a senior, you want to collect that information. But I want to be clear that the system only needs the first name and the last name for the client. It doesn't need anything else. I personally am normally doing full family. So I'm doing mom, dad, cousins, brothers, all of that stuff. So if they have the same name, like George the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, I am going ahead and I'm collecting that and putting it in, especially if the client is utilizing it, because all of the information that's collected here automatically goes and it's printed on the letter for the client. Okay, Rock Key Road. My screen. You're going to put your information here. And then, of course, the social. Now, when it comes to the address, y'all, I'm going to tell y'all that you want to make sure that if there's a suite, an apartment, a condo, whatever, you put that there. But the city and state needs to be in the specific, on the specific line that it belongs to, because again, this information is going to be generated on the letter and you want to make sure that it is correct when it's generated. If you guys have the pro platform, you are going to click this button here to invite to client. That way the client can upload their identifications and all the good stuff on their own. If not, and you guys have the free one like I've had in the past, you're just going to click save and it's going to load the client. Before I get started, one of the main things that I want to cover is what is required to be attached to your letter. So when you're sending out a dispute for your client, you are required to make sure that you have supporting documents that says, this is my name, this is my address, this is my date of birth, whatever. If your client has recently moved from Kentucky to Michigan, from New York to Seattle, and their ID has not been updated, you do not use the identification. You move on to something else on the proof of identification list, okay? I don't want it to be a stressful situation. There's a host of things that are used to prove the identity of your client. You are only required to give a proof of address and a proof of identification. That is it. That is all. You want all of the pieces of information to match. So you want to make sure that the valid driver's license has the address on the bill that you're going to send. Please note, if you're sending any residential bill, for instance, you're sending a gas bill, a water bill, a cable bill, you want to make sure that you're getting an updated bill every 60 to 90 days for best practices. Shout out to David. He dropped this in the chat, y'all. So if you guys are by your computers, stop what you're doing because I'm about to ruin. No, I'm not about to ruin anything. But you want to go ahead and you want to download this so you can have it on file, okay? Hey, Miss Clay. All right, so this is the identification information that you would need. Now, when we are talking about our client's bill, this is something that I love about the platform. The goal is to only give what is required, okay? So all that information, they don't need to know your client business. They don't need to know if they past due, if they have been past, none of your business. None of your business. You crop, and the goal is to get everything on 1 to no more than 2 pages. Okay, I'm gonna show y'all again. Let's say this driver's license came in and was on a whole big sheet of paper. You're able to grab, crop, and go ahead and make sure that it is using exactly what you need. Okay. If the document comes in janky, like it's sideways, y'all can click this button and adjust how the document is on file so that it's angled just right. Okay, so I love some features that are here, and I want you guys to know that. Now, once you come here, I remember earlier I was saying you only have to do the one-click import. So down here at the bottom of the screen, give me 1 second. Right here says one-click import. So if you are using Credit Dyno, you literally just come here month after month and you just click it. That is it. That is all. You don't have to stress it. You don't have to work hard for it. You just come in. Once your person's username and password is in here, you come in, you click it, and you go. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to grab a username and password so that I can help. If you guys have any questions or concerns, please feel free to go ahead and come off of mute while I'm typing this information in.
I had a quick question.
I don't have an answer.
Okay, so I took a picture. I didn't open the mail. It was like my card, my debit card. I just took a picture of it in the envelope. Is that okay?
So ideally, the request on the document is that you're supposed to use a utility bill or a bank statement. If they cannot see that it's a bank statement, it's possible that they may not use it. But most of the times, I don't have that be a kickback. So I would say that you should be fine.
Okay. Okay. Thank
Especially
you.
if the address is matching what's on your driver's license. If you're
Right.
using that as a supporting document.
It's
Okay.
matched. That's the only 2 things I have though. I don't have my social security card. Like, should I add my social or should I be okay with those 2 documents?
You should be fine. I would say wait until you hear something back before you really put yourself in a concerned state since you've already sent the letters out.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
My pleasure. Miss Amber, did you have a question? Oh, that was Miss Amber. Okay, I'm joking. Just kidding. I knew that. I was making sure. See, I couldn't see y'all. Okay. Couldn't see. Hold on. let's see. So we're going to click the one-click import. Can you guys see my screen okay? I want to make sure I'm sharing the right screen. Thanks, David. All right. So once you use the Credit Dyno and you do the one-click import, it says, thank you for using Credit Dyno. You've just earned 1 free round of credits, 1 free attack credit. And I want to make sure that we're clear that the free attack credit is client specific. So if Jessica has Credit Dyno, but her husband has Smart Credit, he cannot use her free round of attack. Only Jessica can use the free round of attack. All right. So now you have all the pieces together. If you look up here, you've now gotten, I want to point out a few things because I think that people miss this sometimes. So you have the client's name. It will tell you if it's ready, if it's time for a round of attack. It says you're ready to attack. It will tell you the credit monitoring software that you're utilizing. And then it will open a dispute tab option. So when you click the dispute tab option, the system is going to systemically already pick everything that is messing with your client's profile or your profile automatically. You don't have to guess it. Automatically, when it comes to the public records information or any collections, charge off, late payments that is impacting your client's credit score, the system is going to automatically select. What it is not going to select are the inquiries. All right. So you would have to manually search the inquiries. If y'all are on a Mac, y'all can go ahead and click on Command F. If you guys are on a regular Android tablet, I guess, or HP, you can click Control F, and that way you can start searching. Rule of thumb, if you see a slash, so this says CRB, I've been in the credit repair industry just for a little bit. This is Cross River Bank, but if you just type in CRB, it's not going to pull up for you. Okay? It's not going to pull up. But you want to check what's on the information on both sides individually.
I missed what your phone. It's like you had went out. You said F8 or F9 for a Windows operating system, but for the iOS system, what was it?
It's Command F, my love.
All right.
Command F for Mac, and for Windows, it's Control F. Good question. So you want to go ahead and search it so that way you don't have to scroll all the way through to see what's going on, right? Rule of thumb, best practices. This has to do with credit card accounts. If your client has an open and active credit card with said company, I need you to not dispute the inquiry. You are running the risk of having your client's card closed. That is going to tank their score and they're going to be mad at you, okay? Because now they won't have that available credit with that credit card. So when you're going through your client's profile or your profile and you are disputing inquiries, it is completely fine. I want to challenge you to make sure that you are checking to see if it says that there is an active account below. So this particular client does not have an active account below for a lot of these that are here. But if you were to see capital, if you were to see an open account, so this, he has Capital One, but it's a charge off, it's in collections, it's closed. I am going to still dispute this Capital One, right? Because this account is not open and active. They've already closed the account. It's not going to impact my client. Now, one of the things that I love about Credit Dyno, unlike the other credit monitoring softwares that are there, is that it gives you the full 7 years activity for your client. It is amazing for us to have this conversation and have such depth of information, because now we're having a different conversation when we're having a consultation. So I'm gonna give you like a brief snippet of what a consultation looks like with me and my client. So let's say we're going to use one when the account is open and one when the account is closed. So you can kind of see the variations. With the Credit Dyno, you can click this little eye icon right here. it will open up and it will break down the summary of the account. You also can click on payment history and you can have this conversation. So when we're talking about payment history is worth 192.5 points roughly for your clients. In the makeup from 300 to 850, how you get there is by hitting 5 components of the credit FICO score calculation. The heaviest one, which is 35%, is your payment history, which equals 192.5 points. The second one is your utilization, which is worth 30 points, which is roughly 165 points, okay? So when I'm having a conversation with my client and I'm looking at their profile, I can clearly see that this account was opened and it was open in 2019. So it's not an old
I'm
account.
not gonna lie, I don't know if that happened to everybody else, but your audio went out. Like as you said, the number second, the second group of numbers.
Okay, so tell me the last thing you heard.
The 192 from the I heard you say utilization, and then your audio went out.
Right.
Okay, so there are 5 components that make up your FICO score, right? The first 2 that are the heaviest weighted is your payment history, that's 192.5 points, and your utilization, which is roughly 165 points. So if you add that with the baseline number of what your client is supposed to have in order to have a credit score starts at 300. Okay, so we have 300, and if they pay on time for the whole time that they've had the account, they will get the full 192.5 points. That puts your client at 492.5 points, just for making sure that they're making the payments on time. Then if their utilization is under 7%, they can get the full 165 points. That brings their credit score to a 657.5. So if you're speaking to your client and you're talking to them about their utilization and about their card, let's be clear, we're going to look at the payment history. You're missing points because you're not paying on time. Let's talk about what on time looks like. Everyone says the due date. That's fine. If you want to leverage the due date, we need to set that up on automatic payments so that you're not late. I educate my clients that their real payment date is when the statement is about to close, because that is when your information is going to be taken from the creditor and sent to the credit bureau. That is when that's going to be calculated in your 165 points. So your statement date when it closes is really the date you should be looking to pay 2 or 3 days before. The due date is the latest possible day you can pay without a late fee being assessed. So understand that we're teaching them to play different credit games or strategies to be successful. All right. So now we're looking at this account and we're going to talk about account health. Remember, we were talking about that 165 points. Well, if you want to be in the 700 club, your utilization needs to close out at 15%. If you want to be in the 700 club. If you want to be in the 800 club, your utilization when it closes needs to be below a 7%. So now when this client comes in and their credit limit is $11,600, but they're using $12,000, the conversation that you're going to have is, okay, honey, we need to get you under this 100% because it's killing your utilization. You're not getting anything in this bucket and you're not showing that you're a responsible borrower. So we need you to pay the minimum payment times 2 plus $4. So that way, while you're trying to get ahead, you're giving yourself breathing room that when that interest hits you again, you don't go over the limit one more time. Did y'all catch that?
Yes.
Awesome.
Minimum payment times 2 plus $4. All right.
Minimum payment times 2 plus $4. That will get them from being over the limit to now being under the limit.
Okay, thank you.
So now I got a question. So I've heard that you should always pay your credit card to 0 if you have to. Like if you max it out 6 times but pay it off every time, like that's beneficial. Is that true?
The question is, when are you? So I want us to, that's a great question, but I want us to make sure that we're having a clear understanding. I don't care if you pay it off to 0. I care when you pay it off to zero. Because if you're not paying it off to zero till the due date, you're still hurting your credit. You're helping yourself with the creditor because the creditor is seeing you're using the account, and that gives you the ability to go ahead and ask for a higher and higher limit, right? But if you're not doing that before the statement closes, and let's say your card limit, so this person has an $11,000 card. If she were to have paid the $11,000 off before her statement closed, her utilization would be zero. But if she paid that $11,000 off at the due date, it's still going to show that she's used 100% of her utilization. Does that make sense?
Yeah. But see, this is now I got a client, right, where the payment due date is the 16th, but when I called Navy Fed, they said they reported on the 19th.
Correct. So in that case, she's paying before the statement closes. So we're still speaking the same language. If your due date falls before your statement date, then you're fine. But let's flip that. Let's say her statement would have closed on the 16th and her due date was the 19th. When should she be paying it?
The 13th or 12th or something
Boom.
like that.
Boom. And she would wait till her statement closes, and then she can go back to using the card. So it's not, in her particular case, her due date comes before her statement is reported. So she's great. If she pays on the due date, she pays on time on the due date, she's completely fine. But if her statement date would have came before the due date, then you're going to want your client to pay earlier so that way when that account sends the balance over to the credit bureau, they're utilizing as little on the card as possible. Because let's be clear, the creditor wants you to use the cards. They want you to use it. They want you to max it out. That's why when they send the statements, it says this is the minimum payment. And a lot of people only pay that minimum, although they may have the whole thing to pay off, which is why they end up falling in the cycle. But if your client is paying the statement off in its entirety on the 16th, then that means when and if she's doing that to all of her accounts, if all of her accounts, the statement date comes after the due date, then she can continue doing exactly what she's doing. But the key point is that she has to look at the statement date. If any of the time the statement comes before the due date, then she needs to pay during the statement window, not the due date window. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome sauce. I love it. I love it. Okay. So when you're having those conversations with that client, Mr. Conway, that is a great conversation for you to be like, hey, here's a tool, here's a spreadsheet that you can go ahead and put your statement dates on and your due dates on, so we can then make a clear plan on when you pay. You can still keep automatic payment on for your regular due dates if your due date falls well after. So for instance, I have an account where my bill is always due on like the 2nd or the 3rd, but my statement doesn't close until the 9th. Right? So in that particular case, I'm paying the bill on the due date, but because the due date is so close to when the statement is about to happen, I make it my business that I just pay it down to the lowest possible so that when it gets reported to the credit bureau, my utilization is not at 109%. It's not at 100%. So that's the education piece that you want to give them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool.
I like that too. That sauce right there. Like, I appreciate that. The
I'm just
spreadsheet.
trying to tell you. So go ahead and create that spreadsheet, child. Just go ahead and create it. So now let's say we're having the same conversation with a person that has a closed account. Now, when the account is closed, and I'm going to say this, a lot of people find this controversial. Personally, with me being in the credit space, I like to have 2 types of conversations with my client. Number 1, if I remove the debt from your credit report, that does not mean that you do not owe if it's a legitimate debt. What that means is it's no longer being reported on the credit report because the company did not meet the Fair Credit Reporting Act in order for that account to legitimately stay on your profile. If they choose to update it, it can more than likely be reinserted, but you would have to get the information to let you know that it's been corrected and been reinserted. However, me removing the debt does not mean you don't owe it. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, if you are going through the process and you are trying to get credit repair done, it is way easier for me to get a paid debt off than an outstanding debt. So in this particular person's profile, she has an outstanding balance of $4,823. I'm not saying that I can't move mountains, because honey, I'll be doing it all the time. Okay. But I want to make sure that we're clear that I'm still educating my client on what a settlement looks like, what a negotiation looks like, what a pay per delete looks like. Because once we can get that done, we have the possibility, depending on the vendor, to get that account completely removed off the profile. And you want to educate your client on what that looks like. Right? So if you're doing a pay per delete, that means that you're paying the debt, whether you're paying it for the amount that's owed or less, you're still paying it. It is then coming off the account, and then you're able to go live your best life, and it will be deleted off the credit bureau. If you're doing a settlement, it is now a zeroed out account, and now we can aggressively attack that profile because there's no reason for that debt to be on there anymore. I've paid it, it's settled, get it off of here. Right? But be very careful when you're having those conversations when we're talking about closed accounts. If the account, so for instance, just being completely transparent, with this account, Discover, this account is still, it's open, but this person has been late. According to the payment history, they've been late since December. Okay. So my conversation is going to be, hey, are you keeping this account? Is it your intent to recover from this account? Have you tried reaching out to Discover to see if you can get on a payment plan so that you can start now reporting as paying on time? Or is your intent to let this account go? So there are different ways that you guys can navigate the waters. Sidebar, I'm having a 2-day challenge. So if anybody needs to sign up for the challenge, please let your girl know so I can drop the link in the chat so we can dive in even further. But I like to go in and kind of like give you guys just kind of like some meat and potatoes when y'all are talking about a consultation with your clients. Okay. Also, let's say you guys are a little bit more seasoned, because I know that some people that watch this replay have been doing credit for a while. I've been doing it on and off for 19 years. So I have some letters that I utilize that I'll say, okay, I know this letter is a good letter. Let me go ahead and use it instead of the generated flow letter. In that case, I can go ahead and put the letter here. I'll put whatever the code is. I can even save the letter in the system. And then instead of the flow letter that I pick being generated for this particular account, it will only generate what I put in as a template. All of the other accounts that are selected will automatically be generated with the Punch of Fury, Nerve Attack, whichever letter I'm selecting at the time. If you decide that you don't want to use your flow because you want the system to do its thing, you can simply hit remove, and then you just go on. So I want to clarify, you cannot attack anything until you tell the system what you are wanting to attack. If your client says something like, oh, I don't want you to attack this bankruptcy because I'm in negotiations with the bankruptcy, right? I'm trying to talk to the bankruptcy court. You can uncheck it, and that way you don't include it in the profile. But if your client doesn't give you that kind of detail, like, oh, I'm already negotiating with Discover, or I'm negotiating with Capital One, then you can allow the system to just do what it is that they do. Most people are hiding out anyway, so do not fret. You can hit the save filter option, and then you get into the attack round. Now, you would go back to your guide that is provided, and you are going to follow the letters that are provided. Okay, so if you are doing round 1, you are going to come in, hit Punch of Fury, Supreme Boosted. If you have the Pro, you're going to click on the creditor letters. If you don't, you're just going to click Handwritten, and then you're going to hit Confirm. Okay, or start round. Then you'll come back in and you will dispute with the third-party companies. So we're going to do it together. Now, if you're in round 2, round 3, it's the same thing. You come in, you pick the letters, you follow the flow, you print out the letters, and you live your best life. Okay, so I'm going to show you. If you are doing round 1, you're going to do Punch of Fury. It says it's supposed to be a handwritten letter. It's Supreme Boosted. If I had the Pro, I would click this button. I'm going to hit Start Round. I'm going to type confirm, and then that letter is going to be generated for me. Now, the static letters are free, no matter what happens, but it can only be generated if you have money in your bucket. If you do not have money in your bucket, you are unable to print the static letters. Okay, but what you would do is right here, once you've done attack 1, you're going to click static letters. You're going to select handwritten. You're going to scroll all the way down just for best practices, and then it's going to automatically segment off the secondary bureaus that you need to hit. So if this is round 3 for you, round 5 for you, and you already know LCI doesn't have an account for this client, or Credco doesn't have an account for this client, when you come in to do this portion, you just don't select the box, so you don't waste paper, because if you download it, you're going to want to print it. You don't even need to do that. Just don't check that particular box if the client does not have a file with that particular credit bureau. So you're going to click it, you're going to hit start, and as long as there's monies in there, it will generate one for you. If there's no money, it'll tell you need credits to go ahead and maneuver. Okay. If you are printing it yourself, you're just going to click download all. It'll download to your file and you can print out the letters and mail it out. If you are utilizing the system, you're going to click mail out. Remember, all letters are first class mail, so you don't have to do anything. How do you know if the letters, if they have a file? So if you've already, great question, Mr. S. If you've already done round 1 and you've already selected, okay, so let me back up. The people who took the masterclass with me, I gave them a strategic, my flow on how you start disputing the profile. My flow gives an announcement to the credit bureau, and then it also sends out a request to the secondary agencies that says, I would like my report. I then send out my first round of attack after that is done. Okay, so my month 1 is technically month 2 in the system, because I want to get all that information back for my clients. Okay. If you have not done that and you're just doing what the system has, when you select that option, it's going to send it to the secondary bureaus, and then they will reply back to your client and let your client know if they do not have a file there. So you don't have to kind of guess. I just like to do the prep work because I like to I'm just fancy. Okay. I like to make an announcement. So I am going to cover that in the 2-day challenge. So if anyone wants to sign up, let me know. I can drop it in the chat for y'all to register. We're building out the course material and I'm super excited. Thank you so much, Stevie and Miss Clay and Miss Leslie, who's helped me make sure that I'm curating it for the starters that are coming into the credit space so that it's more digestible in little chunks, because credit repair is eating an elephant, and the only way to do that is one bite at a time. All right. I'll drop the link for the challenge in a moment because y'all don't know where it's at right now. Well, give me 1 second. I will drop the link so you can see it. So if you come into the system right now, as you can see, I don't have any monies in here. I ain't got no monies. Okay. But you want to make sure that according to the flow, it says that the letters are supposed to be single-sided. So you would come in here, you'd switch it from double-sided to single-sided. You don't have to change the color. It tells you the price. You can come out, add the money here, and then come back in and mail it. Okay. And have the system mail it. If you do not want the system to mail it, that is fine. You can just hit download, you print it out yourself, and you're good to go. The history shows you the letters that you sent out, the credit report when it was downloaded, and any changes in the scores. Okay. The invoice tab is, of course, where you can see any invoices, and the notes is a pro feature. So for instance, for my bankruptcy clients, I send letters to the bankruptcy court. I send letters to the secondary bureaus that house the bankruptcy information. So my notes in my pro would have, on this date, I sent to the bankruptcy court. I sent to these 7 different agencies that hold bankruptcies. I think it's 7 or it could be 10. My apologies. I have it on auto post, but you have these different agencies that has it, and then you'll be able to go ahead and go through the program. Like, you'll know exactly what you did when you come back in the next month. We can still gain access to the class with purchase and the template docs. So yes, I've taken down the replay for now because the challenge is going live on the 22nd and it's a 2-day challenge. So right now, the the replay of the original masterclass is not there because I'm making tweaks to it because we're having the challenge, and I want to make sure that the challenge makes sense for everyone. And because I've gotten a lot of feedback from the class that happened the first time. So I'm no longer selling the replay to the original masterclass that we did in February. So just for everyone that's new here, I hold a masterclass every at least every quarter. Sometimes it's every other month. I have a couple of events going live, and the goal is to kind of help bridge the gap from the system and kind of processing. So I have another challenge that's coming up. It's going to be general admission. There's going to be VIP. I think I have a platinum as well. But you guys can come in, and the goal is for you guys to have certain things already set up. And I'm going to be giving hosts of resources for you to make sure that you have what you need to be a beast in the credit street. So I did drop the link there. I am working on putting my Go High Level together so that the course will be accessible and you guys will have on-demand videos as soon as you log in. But right now it's still loading. My wonderful VAs, because I don't have JM, okay? JM ain't my personal VA. So as much as I be stalking JM and David, okay, they don't be paying me no attention, okay, besides Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. All right, they my people, but they leaving me out here. So yeah, I just dropped the link to the class. The question is, okay, I already answered that. How do you know if they have a file? I want the challenge. The link is in the chat. No, you can't have that. Hi. Hey, my love. I had deleted Panda, had issues. Just wanted to know if I can make an appointment with you to help me set the account with Panda when you have time, if it's no trouble. I have no problem giving you my booking link, my love, so you can book with me. Let me grab that as well. I have a couple of dates open. I need to close off the 22nd because I'm not going to be available on the 22nd. But I just dropped my tab there. So my pleasure, my pleasure. So that is if you guys want to book a session to go over anything Dispute Panda related. Unless you guys want to do a pick your brain session, I do also have that applicable. But let me go back up. I want to make sure I answered all the questions. Okay, so now that we've gone through the whole software, we've loaded a client in, we've done our first round of disputes, we know how to do the attack, we've looked at the history, we've talked about the mailing. I'm going to open the floor for the next 15-20 minutes. Does anyone have any questions on what you guys learned so far? Any questions?
I do.
I got it.
So I see, like, okay, I was struggling with that. I was trying to see, like, well, how do they import the credit report? Is that after you upload the documents?
So right here on the main screen under documents, it says credit monitoring. If you're using Credit Dyno, you would just put the information in and hit the one-click import. If you are using any other credit monitoring, you either have to download it and use it. If you're using Smart Credit, there's an HTML code that you have to copy. If you're using Identity IQ, then you have to download the file. And you can see that information under the training tab right down here for you to see how to do that if you're using any other monitoring software.
So that's, I get it now. Sometimes you gotta have those moments. So the Credit Dyno is one of your tracking systems.
That is correct.
For the credit. I'm sorry. All right, cool. Sorry about that.
Yep. No, you are fine. You are fine. So yeah, if you have Credit Dyno, so we have data points that we read on the back end. It gives you the 7-year report for your client. It gives you a little bit more robust information. So Credit Dyno does allow the one-click import. However, any other credit monitoring software, you would have to physically go and get it and then put it here where you see it says March 5th. If I were to remove it, hold on, yes, remove. You could either upload the file or upload the HTML.
So, like, well, the credit monitoring system, does that include like Credit Karma, the Navy Federal thing, or like Credit
The only
Builder?
credit monitoring, nope, the only credit monitoring services that work are Identity IQ, MyScore IQ, Smart Credit, and Credit Dyno. That is it. That is all.
Oh, okay.
Okay, great question. Great question. All right. Any other questions, Mr. Conway? I think that's a no.
Not that I can think of. I think that that credit dino thing was my biggest like concern, I guess. Because yeah, I was hoping that not hoping, but I didn't know if I could like drop a credit report in there type thing. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah, no, I would say what I can say is sometimes like the credit monitoring companies are like white label each other. But to be quite honest, ever since I've started using Credit Dino, I haven't kept up with that. So I don't know who white labels with who, but you cannot use Credit Karma. And just for reference, I would not recommend anyone to use Credit Karma. Credit Karma's utilization for my clients is only to see changes because Credit Karma updates every 7 to 10 days. That is the only reason that we are using Credit Karma. We are never looking at the numbers that are there. We're never looking at anything because Credit Karma will drop your score because a note has been added. So you're never going to leverage the information that is there outside of changes that are showing up. Does that make sense? And it only gives you the 2 credit bureaus, so you're not able to leverage it anyway.
I'm not gonna lie. You went in and out. So could you say that again?
Yeah. So Credit Karma only gives you the 2 credit bureaus information. That is it, right? So I'm never leveraging the information on Credit Karma, and most of the sites that I've used that are reputable, they don't leverage Credit Karma to pull in reports either. So you're not really going to use Credit Karma because it's only giving you 2. Secondly, Credit Karma will ding you if there is a note or like some verbiage that's added. You can lose points. In reality, someone adding a note or a comment does not lower your client's credit score. So that's why I never tell my clients to leverage Credit Karma for anything outside of any updated information that happens, because Credit Karma updates every 7 to 10 days. Does that make sense?
Perfect sense.
Awesome sauce. All right. Mr. S, what's up, my love? How can I support you today?
No, I was just a little confused on the secondary bureaus going on with that flow you were talking about.
Okay. What are you confused about, my love?
So I haven't been, I guess I've been missing that step
Right.
as far as
About that.
I thought the static letters were if you got a response, then you send out a static letter. So now this one is worked into it every time that you do a round.
Yep, that's what we were talking about the last couple of months, my love. So the new flow that we launched, it is going ahead and showing you, and this has been live since December of 2023. The new flow is telling you when you're doing the static letters for the secondary bureaus, because you're doing it round 1 through 4. You're not doing it 5 and 6, and then you're going back 7 and 10, 7 through 10.
Gotcha.
Okay.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yep. So when you go to the attack area, you're able to go ahead and kind of see all the deets there. So I don't want you to get confused, but you do the round, you would actually pick the variation letter. And then after you do that, you then go and pick the static letters for the secondary bureaus. If you have not done so, just figure out where you are with your client and then start there. So if you're in round 5, you don't do it.
Gotcha. Yeah, so I got it. Okay.
Awesome sauce. I love it. Any other questions, guys?
I have a question. This is Amber. Okay, so I mailed some letters out on February 28th. It was just for TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. So I didn't mail any kind of secondary. That was just the main 3, right? Then I mailed, it says Nerve Attack Premium 1 for those 3 letters.
Okay. So what flow did you use? Oh, you didn't have a flow. You just picked some letters and sent it out. Is that correct?
Right.
Okay, that's fine. You can still go in because you just sent it out on the 28th. If you want to, you can still go in and do the static attack letters and send it out to the secondary bureaus. What I would just recommend is when you come back in, if you're going to do it because you did not pick a flow and then start over at round 1.
Okay. So it's still early to start over. Right.
Well, I'm not telling you to start over. I want to make sure that you're hearing me. You
Okay.
can still send the static letters out based off of the nerve attack that you originally pulled. You can still send the static letter out. After that 30 days has passed, the 35 days have passed, you need to pick a flow, whether it's the new flow or the old flow, and then start at round 1. So even though it's going to be your month 2, you're going to start at round 1 because you didn't pick a plan. Does that make sense?
I see what you're saying.
So that way you now are following a protocol that will be able to help you.
Okay. I see what
Okay.
you're saying. Thank you.
My pleasure, my love, my pleasure. Hey, I have a client who is getting divorced, but the spouse is keeping the car in the client's name. Is it possible to have that removed from the credit report? So generally the answer would be no. I'm going to dive in a little bit further to that answer. Different states have different requirements. There's some states, and you would have to check the state that your client is in to find out if that state allows that item to be removed off of the credit report. Because it is possible that once the divorce decree goes in, you can take that divorce decree and send it into the credit bureau that says these debts are not my responsibility. And you may have to do it multiple times. I had a friend who did hers and she has to do it. She does it like every year because it will automatically default on her profile. However, what I would recommend for the client is that they put it in the stipulation as to how long the car can stay in the client's name. Number one, this is a twofold benefit to you. If that client turns around and can get it in the court documents that they have a year to refinance the car in their own name, you can in essence be their credit person to help them fix it so that they can move the car from your client's name into their name. And that way it will help your client not have to worry about if this person's going to be vindictive and just not pay the car payment anymore. However, the general answer is no, you can't remove it. However, I want to be clear. If you dispute it and the item is taken off because there was something incorrect, out of date, or erroneous on that particular account, it can potentially be removed, right? My concern would be that it could come back and your person can turn around and stop paying, and it will affect your client's profile. So you want to kind of figure out, one, what state are they in? Does that state allow the judgment to help remove the item off the credit report? If that state does not do that, then you want to go ahead and you can choose to dispute it. But just educate your client on how that will impact them. Because remember, 55 points is based on a credit mix, right? So 10% of the score is worth 55 points based on having revolving and installment debt. So if you remove that, how is that going to impact your client? How is that going to impact if we were talking about the payment history? How is that going to impact the age of the client's profile? So it's not just a simple answer. I hope that helped. But that was a great question. So how do you find that information out about the state? You'd have to go to the state site and find out about the credit laws for that specific state that you have for the client. Good question. My pleasure, my pleasure. Any other questions, guys? I'm over here playing with my fingernail. Sorry, y'all. I be doing too much. Any other questions, guys? I want to make sure that you guys are able to get everything answered. Shameless plug. Sign up for ooh, we got a new question. So, sign up for the community at Dispute Panda. If you guys have other questions, y'all can catch me out here in these streets everywhere. Raquel May David. I am literally everywhere with that name, y'all. So y'all can go ahead and find me and dip and do. Let me see. No, let me copy this. Dude, go away. Any other questions before I let you guys go have a great night? Because we're kind of doing really good on time, y'all. Mr. White, I'm sorry, DeAndrea. No, I said right, DeAmber, do you have any questions?
Oh, good. Thank you.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Okay, Mr. Weiss said no. Miss Clay, you good over there? Mr. Carlos, I know you sometimes have connections with the audio. Do you have any questions in the chat? Have a great night, my love. Any questions, Miss
No,
Clay?
I'm good. No questions.
Okay.
I appreciate you though. That's about
Anytime.
it.
Anytime.
Thank you, Raquel.
It's my pleasure. Thank you, guys. If you have any questions, concerns, or comments, we are here Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday for the pro night. I appreciate you guys coming on in and dipping and doing it with me. If there are no further questions, I'm gonna let y'all go be great. And I'm gonna close out. Deanna, say good night. Have a good night, my love. All right. Any questions, Mr. S?
Good night.
I guess I got more of a just want to say thank you,
My
for
pleasure.
for being on. I think I came on in December, more or less, and I did a lot of what was it, business funding. So part of it was after I learned a little bit of it, the software and everything, I was able to lock in for the first month. I had $4,800 in for clients last month, so that's a pretty good win for me. First I took on 7 clients last month, and locking in that amount. So I just want to tell you thank you for being a good mentor. It's I want to be able to scale this and learn
Yes.
more about this.
Absolutely. I'm so excited for you. I'm so excited. Oh, Deamber left. Deamber was the one who won the participation for tonight. So hopefully I can see her again. I'm gonna write her name down. Deamber, if you're catching this on replay, hit me up, girl. Support at evolvelifenow.com. I will go ahead and send you the link. If anyone wants it, I'll actually give it to anyone who sends me a message. I have no problem giving out the ebook for tonight because everyone was pretty active. Hey Tyrone, do you have any questions or concerns? We're about to wrap. Oh, my husband home, y'all. Any questions, Tyrone? No. All right. So on that note, thank y'all for being great. All right, because there's no other options. I want y'all to continue being a blessing. Good night, Stevie. Have a great night, Miss Clay, Mr. S. Y'all have been amazing. Mr. Ty, thanks for pulling up. All right. If y'all want the secret lenders list ebook, send me a message. I am dropping it in my email in the chat, and it will be my pleasure to go ahead and send you guys out this information in real
I would
time.
like it.
All right. So shoot me an email. Well, you got my email address, girl. Go ahead and send me an email and say, ebook, please. I participated on today. Okay. And that way I can go ahead and help y'all with getting a free ebook that you guys can give out. Y'all, I will send you the actual template in Canva so you guys have the ability. So if you guys do not have a Canva account, it is a free 99 account. You do not have to do paid, and you'll be able to go ahead and get the file out. So, hey, Gregory, I see that you came into the room. Do you have any questions, concerns, or comments? Saw someone else left. Thank you, JM. I love me some JM. He be acting right with me, y'all.
Now let me stop again.
No? Okay, Gregory said he has no question. All right. Bye, y'all. Thanks for being amazing. I can't wait to see you guys on Wednesday. If you have any questions, concerns, or comments, you are more than welcome to send me a message, drop me a line. It'll be my pleasure to go ahead and support. But thank you for all you do in these credit streets. I really appreciate it. Tomorrow, I'm in filming all day to make sure that I got these videos for this course that's coming up because I really want y'all to win. What else was I going to say? Telephone number 708. Do you have any questions, concerns, or comments? We're about to close up the room. I want to make sure that I give everyone an opportunity to dip and do.
I did have a question. I can ask you a question about credit, correct?
Yes.
what this is? Okay. So I was wondering, I recently sent out an investigation letter telling them to investigate these accounts. So I was wondering, do I send them when no one come back within like the 35-day period? Do I send them another letter telling them to reinvestigate the accounts before I tell them to do the description?
Who is them? So I
Like,
want to make sure that we're getting clear on who them is. Did you send it to the creditor or to the credit bureau?
like TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax.
Okay. Follow-up question. Did you use the flow that's in Dispute Panda, or did you just send your own information out?
I send my own.
Okay. So to answer your question, after 35 days, if you do not have a response back, my suggestion would be to go back to the flow and work the flow that's in the Dispute Panda software. Because that investigation information is most of the time already included in the verbiage where it applies. If you do not have the backing for, like, have you been doing credit repair for a long time?
I just did, like, I got all of my hard inquiries off, and I updated some of my personal information. It's just I'm working on these three accounts, negative accounts.
Okay. So are they negative as in charge off collections, or are they negative as in late payments?
I have 2 late payments and 2 collections.
So what I would recommend is to follow the flow that's in the item, but if you get the responses back and it doesn't show any changes, you definitely want to follow the flow that's available so that you'll have a more aggressive way to attack the profile.
Okay.
So if you go to the training tab in Dispute Panda,
is it an app I download?
And you click on training. I'm sorry?
Is it an app I download?
Is it a what? Say that one more time.
An app for Dispute Panda? Or
No, there's not an app. Dispute Panda is only available on a computer. So do you currently have a Dispute Panda account?
I think I do.
Okay. Whether you have an account or not, if you go to disputepanda.com, you click on training, the very first thing that you see is free download. Download the guide. The guide is going to tell you how to dispute. It doesn't matter if it's charge off, collections, late payments, repos, bankruptcy. The guide is there for you to follow the flow.
Okay.
Okay. Great question. What's your name?
Dynasty.
Hey, Dynasty. All right, all right. I saw some people pulled up. Thanks for pulling up to the club, honey. We here. Rosario, Miss Belinda, Miss Eliza, do you guys have any questions before we release the room?
Not at the moment, but hello, Raquel.
Hi.
Hi, I am new. I just downloaded the app and everything just the other day. It was referred to me, and I know nothing about credit repair besides maybe disputing a few things on experience some years back and then here recently. But I am looking to try this on myself before I offer it to other people. What would you recommend?
I would recommend clicking on the training tab, click the free download, use the guide and work it. I promise you. Also, you can catch the replay either at the Dispute Panda community or on YouTube. You can catch us there. And then we are back here on Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wait, is that right? No, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard. I keep forgetting that I'm Central, y'all. Please forgive me. So 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. We start the class. I normally give it about 5 to 10 minutes. But if you guys missed it and you want to catch the replay, it is available on the community, which is right here, and we're going to drop it in the chat so y'all can get into the community, or you can watch it on YouTube. I have another question here that says, I do have a quick question. There are negative items reporting in Credit Dyno, but it does not appear on Equifax report as per the client. The client should check the credit reporting date, correct? Or should the client call Equifax or the creditor. So I definitely think dates matter. People think that your credit score stays the same from the last time you pulled it. The information could have not been reporting when she looked at her Equifax report, and now it has been reporting based on the date that it actually showed up, or vice versa. It could have been reporting at one time and now it's no longer reporting, right? But your credit score numbers are generated in real time whenever the item is pulled based on the information that is available at that time. That's why I stress the importance of people paying on the statement date, because that is what's going to be your bread and butter when you're trying to get the accounts. But if they're seeing the information on one platform but not on the other, I would definitely say to look at the date when the Equifax report was pulled versus the date that the Credit Dyno account was pulled. Great question. I love it. What time did this webinar start? I was just notified 9 minutes ago. The webinar started at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. So we're going into our second hour.
Is this something that happens weekly?
Yep, we meet
Okay.
every Monday, Wednesday for the free Panda people, and for the Panda Pro, we meet on Thursdays.
Okay. Thank
So
you.
I will see you. My pleasure, girl. I'll pull up to the club on Wednesday. I'm gonna be playing some
I'm pulling
Usher.
up.
Pull up to the club. I'm gonna be playing Usher, okay? Cause he out here trying to steal everybody, but he got a wife, so he ain't gonna steal me. Cause I got a husband. My husband know how to fight. He know how to tussle. You feel what I'm saying? He know how to tussle. I just got notified. I'm not quite sure what happened, why you just got notified, Rosario, but the link is the same every single week. So if you want to set your clock, if you want to set an alarm just to pull up, you can also go into the community. We normally drop the link there and you can gain access to the live from the community. I'm not quite sure the error. If you want to drop your email address to our wonderful mod JM, we can make sure that the configure is configuring. All right, because we don't want you to miss this party, this bashment. Thanks, Rosario. Appreciate you, darling. Appreciate you. All right, well, this spotlight is hot. We got 9 minutes. Anybody got questions, concerns, comments? We're gonna try and get you squared away.
I have another question.
I can only message, David and Raquel.
Okay, send me your info. I'll go ahead and send it to David. I mean, to JM.
Okay.
I got you. Anyone else?
Normally, when should you see a turnaround on the things that's disputed?
There's not a normal for that.
Okay.
What I like to be completely transparent about is that normally on average within 30 to 35 days, my clients are able to see the information, right? They're able to see some traction. However, credit repair is not a science that you can say, oh, this is guaranteed to be done. That's why we're not allowed to give any guarantees, except for if I do not do my job, I will give you your money back if you don't follow the blueprint. So for me, I give my clients a clear blueprint of what they need to be doing in order to be successful. But typically I see movement within the first 30 days.
And of course, this will be further down the line, but as a service provided to others, what's a suggested price?
That would have to do your market research, my love. What I always tell everyone that asks me that question is to, hold on a second, please.
Sure.
Check her email. She stated that she just got the notification just now. All right, I just want to tell back our mod what's going on just now. All right, so you want to do a market research. So if you're coming into the industry, you want to look at the people in your area, who's going to be your competition. Number one thing that I tell people to do, call them, find out what they say over the phone. How do they engage? What's their pricing point? What does their website look like? Then you need to look at what your overhead is. My pricing is always going to start on how much does it cost for me to do business?
Right.
I pay for this website because I have the pro version. So the standard version is free. However, the pro version is $197. So every single month, my first bill is $197. I have a phone number, I have a virtual address. All of these things, right, are a monthly fee to me. So when I'm calculating that, I'm going to take what my total monthly fee is, divide it by 10, and that's going to be the base number. And then you have to look at what you're going to be paid. But you also have to look at how you're doing business. So for instance, in the next couple of months, my prices are going up because I do a lot of work. So for me, I'm disputing the credit bureaus and all of the secondary agencies that are affecting my client. So not just the ones that are listed in Dispute Panda, but if my client has a repo, there are like 7 or 8 different agencies that I have to go after as well. Right? So I just want to be transparent that your pricing has to be subject to your market. Who is your ideal client? How much does your ideal client make? You might want to have tiered pricing so that you can encompass people that you're passionate about. So for instance, I have a program that helps abuse victims. I have a program that helps people that have come out of incarceration, right? That package is completely different and separate. And what I offer to them is separate because that's my purpose drive, right? And then have my regular clients. So you want to do my market research and find out what your competition is looking like and what they're pricing for you to then make that decision. But always look at what your competitors are pricing and what is your overhead. What is it going to cost Belinda to do business month after month?
I understand wholeheartedly. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
I had a question.
How
much do you charge for credit repair?
My prices range from $179 to $997.
And how do I see it? Is it on like the Dispute Panda?
How do you see my pricing?
Like how do I sign up for whatever?
Oh, for my services, you'd have to visit my website. If you'd like to sign up, I can drop it in the chat. If anyone wants to take a look at my website, it's completely fine.
I'm on the phone, so I don't think I'd be able to see it.
Oh, I can actually show you guys. I don't know why I just put it in the chat like y'all can't see it. My bad, y'all. I be tripping. It's because I'm thinking about there goes my baby. Sorry. So hold on one second. So real quick, Miss Rosario, what time is it where you are now? Miss Rosario?
Sorry, I was trying to find the unmute button. It's 9:56.
Okay, so according to the back office, the first message went out to you at 3:14. Hold on. I'm sorry, at 2:14 p.m. was the first message to alert you that
Okay,
that Dispute Panda was going live. So I'm not quite sure. Maybe check to see if we went to your spam.
Yep, I'll check my spam.
Awesome sauce, and then just let us know. So if you guys come in here and click on credit repair, it will take you to my site to where you can see all of my plans, my packages, what I offer, so on and so forth. If you guys need any help. And any other questions, guys?
How do you market to DV victims, domestic violence victims?
So I work with a shelter, and I normally help them if number one, if some of them have their identity stolen. So I teach a course there on what they would do if their identity is stolen. I do a free DIY credit repair. So I have a DIY software. It's $50 a month. So I teach the class for free, but they have to sign up and they leave that day with the letters in hand that they can take to the post office. Or if they fill everything out, I help them. I'll take the letters, drop it off at the post office for them. So a lot of it is my community outreach. I partner with different agencies that can help me do that. Great question.
I like that.
Do you get paid for that, or is that all funded by your company?
So my DIY software is $50. They still have to pay the $50 each month for the DIY. So I get paid off of the DIY platform.
Do you offer like a discount code for them to put into your software, or is it specifically just for them?
My DIY platform, my DIY platform is for anyone that wants to work for them, like wants to do it themselves. So if you're a domestic victim and you want to sign up for it and you want me to do it, then I charge them a lower rate than the $179. But if they're doing it on their own, it's just $50 a month, and they can come and ask any questions for free whenever I host a class there. If it's not when I'm hosting there, then they would have to book my time, and that's paid.
Okay, paid by. Thank you. That helps.
My pleasure. So yeah, with my DIY software, all I do is teach the class on how they navigate it, what they need to do. I also print out letters while I'm there because I have a specific flow. So they get my flow, they get my email sequence, and then every month I just come in and just have a conversation. I'm giving them financial education. I'm checking to see where they are, things of that nature. So partner with community places. Like even if you guys don't want to do DV victims, you guys can partner with different agencies. And the thing that you'd have to pay attention to is what can you structurally give them? It is my passion to help people, so I'm giving the education for free, but they still have to print out the letter. So what I personally do with any outreach program that I do, I bring the paper, I bring the envelopes, and all they have to do is print. And then we package it, we have the conversation, we talk about everyone's actual file and what they need to focus on. But normally I'm not working with anyone until they're about to leave the center. So the first couple of months, we're just giving them education. And then right when they get their home and their ID and everything is together, then we start the program and they come in monthly to meet with me.
Do you happen to do any kind of business credit?
Yep, I do business credit as well. Yep. Great questions. So this is going to change so that people can book on my calendar to work with me, and we're going to go through some options that they have. But I like these questions, y'all. Anything else? Anything else? We are sending emails to everyone. Gotcha. Thanks, JM. So y'all, if y'all got this message late, please check y'all spam and whitelist us so we don't go into your spam. Okay, I'm trying to be all up in your business, but I can't if y'all put me in your spam alert. All right, I need to be in your inbox, not in your spam alert.
Is there a certain software that you use for business credit repair, or not credit repair, but credit building?
For business credit, I use a software by a gentleman by the name of Jeremiah Davis, and his software is amazing. If you send me a message, I can definitely go ahead and share that information with you.
Okay, I'm gonna put it in. How do you want me to?
I'm gonna drop my my email address in the chat. I don't know my name. Hold on, sorry. I was like, I don't know my name. Okay. I said in the chat, everything happens for a reason. I'm excited to be here. Oh, I'm so glad you're here too, Miss Belinda. Yeah, just shoot me an email. Just say, can I get the info for business credit? I'll send you the link for his platform. And he is all over social media. Jeremiah Davis is amazing. I love him. And he's been in the business credit industry for a long time. All right, anything else, guys? If all hearts and minds are clear, I'm finna let y'all go be great. All right. Thank you guys so much for coming in. See you Wednesday. We are going to be here loud, live, and in color, baby, at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I cannot wait to support. If you guys want to book me or have any questions, please let me know. The 2-day challenge link is in the chat, so I hope to see you guys on the 2-day challenge coming up at the end of this month. Otherwise, thank you for being dope. I so appreciate you coming in and letting me help you guys learn to be a beast in these credit streets. I'm gonna catch y'all on Wednesday. Bye, guys. Let me go stop recording.